Hello there, you little smart kittens, and welcome to the episode of Learning with Smiter. This is the third episode of Season 1, India. Learning with Smiter focuses on a different topic every season. There will be 6 episodes this season. The Gupta Empire roughly began in around the year 319. This was roughly when the king began. There was many warring states in India at that time, and they had to conquer most of them. After a few generations of kings, the Gupta Empire had expanded to quite a large size, covering most of North India. Sadly, South India had to wait another few hundred years until it had its golden age in the 10th century. The first conquest began when the first king expanded quite a lot of his territory. Then his son married a queen that was in charge of quite a lot of land. Then the next king, the third, he decided to do some expanding in the southwest. And then the next one, the fourth, did some expanding later on. But after all, they were expanding to quite a large size at the end. Now we're ready for the biggest bit of things about the Gupta Empire. You see, lots of the things we use in modern day without thinking about it came from the Gupta Empire. Now we're going to have to talk about what advancements they made and what they invented. The next thing we're going to mention that they invented was the concept of zero. They invented the idea of having nothing. Yes, that's precisely correct. They also invented a very popular game. Can you guess what it is? The 64 squares on the board and the current world champion's called Magnus Carlsen. If you guessed chess, you're correct. They also made big advancements in astrology. And to do this, they invented something called the telescope. It's still used today. Believe it or not, they invented Arabic numbers. How did they do this when they were Indians? Well, it's simple. The Arabs used their ideas to build up on the number system we use today. Yes, they invented the number system we use today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As well as inventing zero and Arabic numbers, maths couldn't have gotten simpler. Well, it could get a bit more complicated because they invented pi. It's a very important mathematical symbol that helps people work out the perimeter of circles. I didn't tell you about this. I told you they invented the telescope, so that meant they could do great astronomy things. They also discovered the Earth was round. Mr. Newton, you've been beaten to it. How dare he steal the Gupta's idea? Now it's Mr. Newton on the copyright scale again for copyrighting Gupta for the second time. Because you know what? The Gupta also discovered gravity well before Mr. Newton. Over 1,000 years. Well over 1,000 years. Probably over 2,000 years. No, that's not right. They also discovered that planets and moons do not create their own light. You know, they worked out that they don't create their own light. I just said they worked out that they create their own light. They don't. They reflect it from the sun. And they worked that out. Europeans, you've got beaten to it for, is it the third time now? I think it's well past the third time. I think they should pack it in and go home. They've lost the race against the Gupta Empire. The Gupta also made many works in literature, building, and religion and philosophy. These were all advanced during the time of the Gupta. Like, for instance, religion and the Hindu scriptures were further forward. Building work, like many impressive buildings. Literature, like for instance they had many playwrights, like Shakespeare. Good old Shaky. Wait a second. The Gupta beat him to it! Send him to jail for copyright and the Gupta.